Alright, here we go again. They're called blind ventures for a reason. It's because I'm either experiencing the entire story, or I'm dipping my toe in and figuring out, but it's not for me. So, 7 wasn't it? 10 was cool, but wasn't quite it. Maybe 12? Maybe 12. This is fucking old Dar, this is. Straight up. This is giving me Star Wars prequel vibes. Yeah, this is straight up episode 1. We're on Naboo right now, you cannot convince me otherwise. This introduction's really fucking cool, and I'm way more into it than I was Final Fantasy X's introduction, to be honest. It's more my style.
You there?
You're finally awake. It's just fucking Skyrim.
Think you can fight?
I'm fine, sir.
How old are you, Rex?
17, sir.
I knew he was gonna say 17.
Young.
Oh, it's spelled R-E-K-S? Oh, that's very 2000s, isn't it? I find what's interesting is the pre-rendered CGI cinematics looks to be about the same quality that you'd expect the in-game cinematics for Final Fantasy XIV to be. Okay, this isn't a bad battle system, I could get used to this. I love the clearly 2D hallway in front of me.
Captain, why? Our king, what have you done?
The king intended all along to sell Damascus to the Empire. His Majesty was a traitor.
Captain,
Alright, I guess Rex is possibly not the main character, although, you know, anything could happen, it's a fucking Final Fantasy game.
I was waiting.
Penelo said you needed something?
Had me some packages supposed to be arriving by courier. In the morning, perhaps he ran into some trouble out in the desert. Now I've no foodstuffs to prepare for the banquet tonight.
This guy's
So you want
voice
me to find this courier? Hey, no problem.
sure is something.
No problem. The desert teems with trouble.
Van doesn't seem much like a Bushido to me, but it's the coolest class, so we're gonna try and train him up, I guess. Oh, I like that there's an optimize button. That's nice. I feel like that was probably a remaster edition. I feel like I'm going to be using that liberally. The way this city is constructed, with the areas leading to other areas and save crystals in place of what I'm getting at, but it seems like it shares a lot of DNA with Final Fantasy XIV. I'm wondering if it shares a game director. Nope, looking it up, I am genuinely surprised to find that these games do not share a game director, not even Final Fantasy 1.0 to Final Fantasy 12. They're different directors. There's gotta be some kind of underlying influence here that kind of stretches across both games. Maybe they share a bulk of a development team or something. If anyone knows in the comments, I would love to know, because Final Fantasy 13 is nothing like 14, neither is 10. You know, like, this is the only Final Fantasy game, although obviously I haven't played 11, that shares that kind of feeling of shared DNA with 14, and it fascinates me. This really does feel like a precursor to Final Fantasy 14. Like, a generation before, but even then, like, it was at the tail end of the next generation, so more like 2 generations before. It's like Final Fantasy 14 demake, and I'm all about it. That's straight up a T-Rex. I feel like I should probably stay away from a T-Rex. I'm like level 1. Ah, I see. That's what the sound effect should have been. Another thing Final Fantasy XIV would keep, not being able to fall off of ledges, no matter how small they may be. Hello, Chocobo. Ooh, the Chocobos in this game look like weirdly more detailed than they do in Final Fantasy XIV, not to continue the constant comparisons. Right, there's a hunt map. Okay, that's helpful. Oh, that's why I couldn't find a rogue tomato. It's bloody tiny. I thought it was gonna be humongous. You bastard tomato. Ugh. Look how tiny the city is. It's just a little JPEG in the background. Actually, no, it looks like it's ever so slightly 3D modelled. Or they might be sprites. Yeah, I think they're kind of rotating with the camera a little bit there. I think they're sprites.
Yes, different style means different bouquet, too. Take a Damascus Barreau's wine, it may lack the flavor and depth of some of your Arcadian wines, but it has a certain strength of character.
I love this guy.
It's not bad, really, once you get used to it. Care for some, sirs? There's more than enough for all to cool.
He's pulling a Davos on them. Oh, okay. I gotta say, I do like these CG cinematics. I don't know if they got remastered or if they looked this good back in the day.
People of Rabanastre, is it with hatred you look upon your consul? With hatred you look upon the Empire?
Well, at least they're honest.
Though King Ramanas and Lady Ash be gone, they stand ever at the side of their people. In honoring peace, you do honor to their memory and to Dalmasca.
You're a regular billionaire, aren't you?
What I ask plain. My hopes now rest with you.
Oh, fuck off.
Is Rabanastre to your liking, my lord?
Oh,
It is magnificent.
man, the cut back
Take
to
this
gameplay
cathedral,
is
for instance.
it's kind of a hit when you're not expecting it.
You know as well as I do the first thing you'd buy is an airship. All hail Vaughn, sky part of Damasca. It's got a nice ring to it.
Isn't this the
Stay out
plot of
trouble.
Solo? I mean, remove the carpets and the vaguely eastern themes, and you've got an area that kind of looks like somewhere in my home city. To be perfectly honest, I think I made this same note in the Mass Effect video. It's that same place I'm thinking of. Isn't it kind of weird to call your fake fantasy world area Giza, when Giza's a real place that has nothing to do with this place? Dude, I bet if I played this, because I think this was a PS2 game, right? I bet if I played this on PS2 back in the day, this would have felt massive. Like, now I can kind of tell where the skybox is and where the borders are and what the seams are. But back in the day, this would have felt massive. You're a Moogle? Okay, well, there's something this game doesn't share in common with Final Fantasy XIV. This is not a Moogle, this is a weird little mouse thing. Cat thing, even. So, Bushis in this game wear mystic armor, which makes them look like a mage, even though they're basically a samurai. That's weird, but okay. I guess this is more of a magic-based class than I thought it would be. That's cool. You'll not be able to leave this area easily. You may wish to save your game to a new file? I'm not sure what that would have to do with anything, but sure, I'll take the advice. I'm guessing it just means something's going to happen in the story which makes that first area unavailable forever or something, and that they're trying to make sure that if I want to go back to it, I have a save file of it.
Over here!
That was the worst guard in all of history.
What's going on?
You're free, eh? That's quite an entrance.
Wait, that's Ifrit?
Impeccable timing. If I didn't know better.
This time Ifrit's
Waiting all along.
a thing. Hot air balloon with guns. Why is it in a JRPG you always end up escaping out of the sewers at some point near the beginning of the story? Have you noticed that? Ni no Kuni 2, Dragon Quest XI, Final Fantasy XII. Ooh, a save crystal. Me IRL. Just fucking slivers away. Oh my god, when will these sewers end? Or at least get me to another save point, because I need to fucking go soon. This is why I hate fixed save point games. And that's as far as I got with Final Fantasy XII. That was recorded a fair few months ago at this point. If you think I should press on, do be sure to let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I don't know if I'll be revisiting this game. But thank you for watching, and this video will help me if in a couple of years I inevitably do want to go back and try this game. I'll be like, what happened again? And I'll come back and watch it. So that's why this video exists. Also, you know, it's fun to make and all that.